What is up, every people? Welcome to the Mad Poet Show. Thank you for being here. So I got my guy Steven tuning in from Facebook again. Hello, Randy. The word shredding does not come to mind when I consider you're playing. Or do you identify as a shredder? You know, it's interesting. I like Steven's questions because he just makes me go off on all kinds of crazy things, areas. It makes me think about what's going on with my own playing. And ultimately, what I'm doing here is not my preferred guitar player identity. I would actually rather be a rhythm guitarist playing more in a power metal kind of a setting where I'm also singing. And that's why I've been talking for the last really couple years about all of the work I've been doing with my singing. And if I get my vocals to the point that I want them, then I will play these same albums and I'll just put words to them. And you know, it'll never be released like that as official, but then subsequent albums moving forward would be more kind of power metal vocal style albums. And that's kind of where I would like to be sitting. Really what it comes down to is I had worked with a few different bands, different periods of time, and it's the same thing over and over. Steven and I have talked about this before. People don't show up, they show up late, they show up high, they show up drunk, they don't know their parts. It's frustrating, you don't get your recordings done, you don't book gigs. And so I parted ways with all the groups I was working with, and then I started putting together another group. I mean, like, how naive can I be? Thinking, oh, if I put the group together, it's going to be different. No, it's not different. It was the exact same thing. And I finally realized, hey, if I just replace all the people who don't show up with computer programs, the only thing I won't be able to do is vocals. That's the only thing that I didn't have at the time that I'm continuing to work toward. And so it's like, yeah, I'll just replace everybody, and I can do instrumental music. And so that leads to more of a shredding style thing. And certainly, I mean, I've spent decades working on improvisational skills as a guitar player, and I really enjoy it. So I would say more than a shredder, I would say it is probably more accurate to say that I identify as an improvisational guitar player. With the type of music that I do, most commonly, that does tend to happen at a fairly fast tempo. I play a lot of notes. But it's not because I want to be a shredder, it's really more circumstantial based on I want to do music and this is the music that I can do. So, hope that answers your question. That's an awesome question, Steve. Dude, keep it up with the awesome questions. And anyone else out there watching, feel free to ask questions. They can be good questions, they can be crazy questions, they can be very profound, they can be silly, whatever you want. That was good though. That's a solid question. Beautiful. This next song is going out to my friend Marie Ventris. She is an author. She's very good. And she's got a very cool YouTube channel you should look up. She's an awesome gal. And this is also, I think, one of my, if I were to put out my top 10 song titles, I think this one would be on the list. Steven identifies as a wanking musician. Absolutely. And this, anyone who ever wants to be like, this guy just does guitar wankery, yes, absolutely. 100% that is what I'm doing. Nonetheless, the song is called 18 Iron Chains to Bind the Wicked King. XX Decomp XX. Double X Decomp Double X. Decomp. Thanks for following me on Twitch. Thank you very much for being here. What does Decomp have to say here? This might be the best production I've seen on Twitch. Thank you very much. Alternating camera angles are sick. Are they automated or are you controlling the switching? They are in fact automated, and the lights are also automated. Everything is set up in advance. So basically I don't know if you know audio-visual production at all. I'm using a protocol called MIDI, which stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. And it's just a protocol that can be used to send signals out to other items. And so I send signals out from my recording program that I play everything through, and those send out signals to my broadcast software to say switch to this other camera. And I send also to a lighting program that sends out a DMX signal to all the lights to say turn on, turn off. So it's all set up. Oh, okay, so you are familiar with the protocols I'm using. That's very cool. And so yeah, that's basically what's going on. It's I've been doing this for about 3.5 years. And you know, when I started out, I just had 4 lights back behind me sitting on the floor. And I was kind of working out, okay, how do I even get these things to turn on and off? And then over time, I've added more and more. So I've got, I think I've got 28 lights running right now, which I love it. It's fun. And so yeah, thank you very much. And if you like the high production stuff, another streamer I would urge you to watch, if you've not seen him, is Scene of Action on Twitch. He actually was the very first streamer I ever watched, and he has higher quality production than I've got. He's good. He's really good and very cool guy. Also from Washington State, where I'm at. I've never met him in person. We're in very different parts of the state, but definitely, if you're looking for high quality production, Scene of Action is worth checking out. And of course, thank you very much for being here, checking out my stuff. And thank you wherever you're tuning in from. I am, as you likely know if you've seen me before, I'm streaming out to 15 different platforms right now. And so if you're coming in from Kick or Twitch or Livespace, DLive, Trovo, Nino, Nomo, Vaughn, Rumble, Picardo, Africa, Trovo, anything I've missed there, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're tuning in from, thank you very much for being here. Right now, we are playing my 21st album. This album is titled An Innocent Assassin. And this next piece, in B minor, if you're playing along on your harmonicas and your fiddles, in B minor, 135 beats a minute. This piece is called Beyond the Other Side of Silence. Decom says B minor might be my favorite key to play in. F sharp Phrygian leads on top, make for some killer. Absolutely. Well, F sharp Phrygian and B minor, or technically B Aeolian. I'm pretty sure Decomp knows what I'm talking about there. Relative mode, so they have the same notes, and so they work really well over one another. When you do what you're talking about there, you play the F sharp minor. This is for the people who are not music theory nerds, who probably won't be able to follow along anyway. It doesn't matter. You play the F sharp Phrygian over a B minor, and it leads this, in my opinion, is kind of an exotic kind of a feel. Totally dig that. Yeah, I completely agree with where you're going with that. Do you play guitar, piano? What kind of instrument do you tend to play on? Because you clearly know some music theory here. All right. Guitar primarily, very cool. Do you stream? Should I check out your channel? I would like to see what you've got going on, because I like the way you're talking here. I will check you out one way or the other, but hopefully you got some cool stuff going on. I dig it. This next one is in C sharp minor. We're slowing it down a little bit here. And this one, rarely stream, totally understandable. I totally get that. I'm trying to remember if I put a piano or a harpsichord on this. It's been a while since I played this album. And I don't know. Let's play it and find out. This one is called Imminent Decay. Yeah, great question, Decomp. So I am doing everything in the box right now. And again, for those who may not be familiar with the terminology, in the box means I'm doing everything on my computer, so I'm not running an actual amplifier. I do have some really kicking amplifiers here, and I had those cranked up on the 4th of July. I took them out front, maxed it out, and ripped out Heavy Metal National Anthem. And my neighbors actually really do like it when I do that. I get all kinds of compliments from it. I've been doing that for years. And so what I'm running is, let's see, my signal chain, I use a wireless system because I like to move around and my feet are stupid, which is why I'm not a drummer. So I got my wireless system that goes into a Scarlett 18i20, and that's my interface to my computer. And then it goes into my DAW, which is Reaper. And in Reaper, I use, so the first thing is a noise gate. I use the G Suite G Gate, which is, it's a free suite of plugins. It's really good. They got some great stuff in there. And then I run into, by Ignite amps, their really popular one is the Emissary, but I use the Anvil. And it's a really clean, distorted amplifier, so you don't get a lot of background noise with it. I really like the sound of it. So I run, so it's a preamp model, or not model, but a preamp sim, and then I run into the Ignite Amps TPA-1, which is a power amp sim, and then I use the Two Notes Torpedo Wall of Sound cabinet simulator. And inside of that, I don't remember which cabs I'm using. That's the only actual paid piece, the paid plugin in there, and it's not an expensive one. It's really good though. Very worth picking up. If you're looking for, you know, a cab simulator, I would strongly encourage the use of that one. And then I have two instances of EQ behind that. One just to notch out bad frequencies, and then one more as a shaper. And on that one, what I did is I emulated the Mesa Boogie Triaxis dynamic voice. And I'm a Triaxis owner. I've had my Triaxis for, gosh, probably about 25 years now. And basically it's this thing that you push up and down and it changes. The calculations are tough to go into, but I found a way to emulate it and it works awesome. Decomp says, it started with the Ignite Emissary when breaking away from physical amps. I'm now on Axe-Fx. Yeah, I've never used the Axe-Fx. My buddy Jake was using that for a while and he was getting some great sounds out of it. And you know, with all of this stuff, I always tell people it's about what you do, not what you use. So yeah, you can make Axe-Fx sound great. You can make the Emissary sound great. You can make it, you know, the Anvil sound great. You can make Neural plugins sound great. You can make the 1111 sound great. Yeah. Oh, and I got, interesting. Okay, my kick messages are not showing up on my multi-chat. So I got, Bikik, I'm probably saying that wrong. And it says, Ciao Stefano, and it says something that looks like Spanish. So unfortunately, I don't know what that says, but I'm going to assume that it's a compliment and say thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. I'm not sure why Kick is not showing up there, but I will watch on my backup thing. Yeah. And that's, you know, there's so many, like what Decomp just said, doesn't matter what you use, they will all sound garbage with a bad EQ. And there are so many people who get emotionally tied to what they're using. Oh, I use this recording program, I use this EQ, this amp sim, this compressor, this whatever, this cable, these guitar strings, this type of guitar. And it's like, you know what? I've heard great recordings and terrible recordings done on all combinations of these things. It's just the way it goes. So, yeah. I'm going to reconnect Sheep Chat and hopefully the Kick messages will start coming in. This happened yesterday too, and I'm pretty sure this did rectify it. So, cool. Yes, but yes, thank you very much everyone for coming in. And I'm just gonna let that reconnect while I play this next song. Well, don't worry, we got a lot more upbeat stuff coming up, but we're gonna keep it a little on the slower side right now. This one is called Times of Turmoil. then. What we got coming up here? F sharp minor. Cool. This is called a Path of Shadows. Coming in from kick.com. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. And my resetting the sheep chat did in fact work, so that's awesome. We're going to slow her back down a little bit again. This is an interesting piece. Decomp, Double X, if you're still watching, you will kind of probably appreciate what's going on here. This piece is an E Phrygian. And when people ask me about, particularly students ask me about, how do I make decisions improvisationally? Insane Song, AZ says, this works great for grinding my D4. I'm not sure what a D4 is, but I'm glad you're grinding it. I hope you grind it well. You grind it into a very fine powder and or dust or some sort of granularity. I'm a silly dude. But whatever you're doing, do it well. So this song is called War of the Black Tower. It's an E Phrygian. And when I do my, Diablo 4, got it. Cool. Nonetheless, grind it into a fine powder, baby. When I play, everything is based on a scale. And there's different ways that I visualize the scale that I'm playing in. One of those ways is linear, which is basically playing right through the scale. So if I'm doing a lot of that's kind of a linear style of playing. Then the other one would be intervallic, which is based on the triads, or the chords, basically, what makes up a chord. And then the last way is to be angular, where I make a lot of these very large jumps. And normally, I kind of concentrate around linear playing and will complement that. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I concentrate around intervallic playing, and I will complement that with linear playing, and then have occasional angular jumps. So in this, I've put myself some directions in here at certain times to play in a much more angular fashion. So I'm intentionally going against what I normally play. It leads to some an interesting kind of feel throughout the song. And it's different. Hopefully you will like it. This is the War of the Black Tower. I was not watching the batteries on my wireless, and I know better than that. Fortunately, I've got a freshly charged set of batteries sitting right here, and I can just switch them out, which is what I'm gonna do. Thank you for your patience. Am I mostly an Ibanez fan? Great question. I would say I'm not a fan of any particular brand of guitar. To me, it's all about the individual guitar. And when people talk to me about what kind of guitar should I buy, I say go out and play at least 50 different guitars before you buy. This may take a few days, may take a few weeks or even months. But what happens is you start to get a sense of what features do you like. And so if you're looking for an electric guitar, on any guitar, the necks have different shapes, different sizes, different thicknesses. There are different sizes of frets. You might prefer all 6 tuners on one side, where some guitars will have 3 per side. and or there are different configurations, different pickup configurations. Where are your pickups at? Where are the knobs at on the guitar? If you're a person who uses the knobs a lot, you might like a guitar where the knobs are a little closer. Or if you're very active with your hand, you might like the knobs to be out of the way so you don't accidentally bump them. And so all of those things come into play. And how does it feel when you're standing up? How does it feel when you're seated? All these things. And then you end up picking up a guitar that fits you. You're like, okay, instead of I have X amount of dollars, what guitar can I buy? It's these are the features I like. What guitar can I find that has the most of those and that suits me the best? So I do have the Ibanez, and I like this. This is an Ibanez Sabre. I have two Ibanez Sabres. The other one's hanging up back here. And then this here is a Jackson bass. And I've got my, also right next to the Jackson bass, I have my Jackson Rhodes. And then I have my my JG, which is a Giuliano Giovetti guitar. That's kind of a jazz style. I shouldn't say it's kind of jazz, it's a jazz style guitar. And Giuliano was an accordion maker in Italy back in the 60s and 70s. And toward the end of his time, he had all the equipment, so he made some guitars as well. And really good ones. It's a nice guitar. The next one is an Aria AC80. That's my classical. And the classical over here, this is Sarah's classical. And it's just kind of a student model guitar. I use that for alternate tunings and stuff. And the last one I got over there is a Charvel. And so I used to have a Les Paul that I really liked. It was stolen, unfortunately. And that was my main guitar. It was a Gibson Les Paul. It was a 96. And I just customized the crap out of that thing. It was so cool. And I have thought about getting another Les Paul. And I've looked around from time to time here and there, and it's like, I'm not finding a guitar with the features, the specs, if you will, that I want in a Les Paul. So the closest one is the Epiphone Studio is got the closest, and it's very similar to the Les Paul that I had. Leo Cadones, welcome back. Hey, thanks for the compliment. I like my guitar wall. Unfortunately, Ripley, the people did not get caught. And it was a group of people. They knew enough about him to catch him. The police were just lazy on this one. Oh, this was probably 13 years ago. But I've got to take partial blame on it. I was in a dance class and I left my guitar in my truck. And I know better. But I left my guitar in my truck. Someone stole the guitar and they stole my briefcase. And in my briefcase was 15 checks from different students, from my students that were uncashed. So I had to call my students and be like, cancel your checks, this and that. And this is where they should have caught them. One of those checks, they changed the info on it. There's a way they can do that. I think they call it washing the check or whatever. So they washed the check, they changed the info, and they had them on camera. And the police wouldn't do anything about it. It was very frustrating. So I don't know who the people were. The bank wasn't going to release that information to me. But the worst thing, worse than the guitar, worse than the checks, when my daughter's mother and I were dating, she gave me a necklace. Necklace is probably worth like 50 cents. I was planning to give that necklace to my daughter when she graduated high school, which she's 31 now. I mean, this would have happened already. That necklace was in the briefcase, and I never got it back. And that, to this day, if I were to find out who those people were, the necklace is why I would go back after them. Yeah. So, how could someone do that, Leo? I'll tell you. People suck. That's how people can do that. It's just the truth. It really is. Yeah, and and I've had 2 guitars stolen over the years. The other one was back when I was in the military. So it would have been about 91 when I was heading over to Korea. And You know, if you're going to be a musician, the question is not if your guitars get stolen, it's when. It will happen. It's part of the game. Queen Vic, well, I don't believe I recognize your username. Thank you very much for coming into the Mad Poet Show. Yeah, it is unfortunate, Leo. I absolutely agree. But you know, here's the thing. Even when that guitar was stolen, I actually had a really big show coming up with a heavy metal band I was playing with at the time. And like I said at the time, I don't have to have that guitar. I have other guitars. We can do the show. I'd rather play that Les Paul, but I don't have to. So, story about the sausage. Oh, Vic, tell me the story about the sausage. You guys do this. I'm glad that my batteries went out because a bunch of people came in and asked awesome questions. So we're gonna start this song back up, and now I've got enough battery power to make it all the way through. Tell me about the sausage roll, Vic. I'm gonna play the War of the Black Tower. rogue light going on over here. Be right back. Lights number 1 and 2 over here are my cantankerous twins. They're the ones that go crazy the most often. Zarniver, welcome. Good to see you again. Happy start of the weekend, listening to tunes and relaxing. Glad to have you here. Thank you very much. Ripley 1666. Thank you very much for the follow over on kick.com. Greatly appreciated. Can we have some shouting, please, and a mosh fight? And a metal chair with a hole in it. And some porridge. Yes, you can have all of those things. I mean, you have my permission. I think it'd be great if I would never know it, but if some person just got a whole bunch of their friends together and just had a massive mosh pit in their house while I was playing, that would be really cool. So feel free, man. Mosh it up. Definitely. And yes, thank you very much all for being here. Got a good little crowd building up today. We got people coming in. I got some people on Twitch, some people watching on YouTube, it looks like, and it looks like I'm asking people on DLive and Trovo. Looks like a bunch of people on Kick, which I love Kick. Kick is awesome. That's definitely becoming my main platform out of the 15. Like a lot of like Vaughn TV, there's probably no one watching on Vaughn. There might be people watching on Rumble, I don't know, but Facebook, whatever, man. Yeah, Kick is awesome. You know, Leo, if you want to give your mosh pit weapons, that's great. I'm not going to be there for that, so you guys are on your own. I'm not going to say I condone the weaponry, but I can't tell you what to do in your own life. So this next piece, what I did this is my 21st album, An Innocent Assassin, and I'm not going to read that statement on air, thank you. I do maintain a family-friendly stream, just so people are aware. I have students who watch this, and I'm going to definitely agree with Queen Vic. Hello, Twitch people. Come to the Kick dark side. Kick is probably going to take over Twitch. So, yeah. Because it's a better platform. And if the powers that be on Twitch are watching this stream, yeah, I said it. What are you going to do? Kick me off your platform? I'm on 14 others. There you go. So on this album, this was the first time I did this. In fact, I think this might be the only time I did this. This particular song, I made an alternate version of it. A couple days after I put out the album, I released an alternate version of this where I use... it's okay, Ripley. It's okay. I don't beat people up for language in the chat. I don't always read it on... okay, before I tell the story of this song, let me tell the story of the Smoke Machine, because that was the time that I cussed on stream. This was probably over 2 years ago now, and I was doing a stream. I was just at the end of a song, and something smelled wrong, and so I got done with the song, and I'm like, okay, hang on. I need to check my smoke machine because something smells wrong. And as I went over there, I could see it glowing orange through the little grills on the top of the smoke machine. I'm like, oh, this is not good. Put the guitar down. I happened to have a damp towel from my shower laying on the floor. And by the time I got to that, the bright stuff inside had burst into flame. So I got a smoke machine on fire. And I was actually facing the other way in the room at the time. And so I had to run out. There's a door there that was on camera in that. And so in this house, I'm in the basement. So I've got that door is closed. I've got to go up 13 stairs. There's a door closed at the top of the stairs. And then just adjacent to that, there's a door to the outside of the house. So I've got this flaming smoke machine and a damp towel, and I am cussing my brains out. Guys, so I gotta set down the smoke machine, open a door, run up 13 stairs, set down the smoke machine, open a door. This time Sarah's up there, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, fire! And so we got the next door open, I finally kicked the smoke machine out. Oh, I will say this though, that smoke machine kept smoking the entire time. So, because every machine is a smoke machine if you use it wrong enough. Keep that in mind. So there was that. You can see an edited version of that on YouTube. I don't. You'd have to look through my video. I got tons of videos up, but I went through and I made an edited version of it so I could put, because it was quite funny to watch. That was an exciting show. So Undertaker's Daughter, 21st album, and I made an alternate version of this on acoustic guitar. And I think in a lot of ways I like the alternate version better. If you go to my YouTube channel, which there should be links from it on just about every site that I'm streaming to, there's a playlist for each of my albums. And if you go to this album is called An Innocent Assassin, you can hear an alternate version of this. And I've always thought, man, I should do the alternate version live. And then I never get the tracks and guitar ready to do it when I play the album. So we're not going to hear the alternate version today. Nonetheless, fun piece, awesome title. This is The Undertaker's Daughter. And hello to Do It Pruitt, one of my OG fans. Here it is. I think Queen Vic, I don't know if I thanked you for following on Kick. If I did not, apologies. Thank you very much. And if I missed any followers or chatters or anything, apologies. I don't like to miss my people, but sometimes I do, and I do appreciate you being here. Queen Vic had a question. Is this in D minor? No, that song was, in fact, in C minor, is where I did that one. I do have quite a few songs in D minor, and we may even get to one of those today. So let me check something here. Okay, so we've got 2 more songs on this album, and then we're going to switch over, and I'm going to play another full album. So right now we're playing my 21st album, An Innocent Assassin, and then we're going to flip over and we're going to play my 56th album, which is titled It Matters Not. So we got 2 more songs on this album, then we'll do the switch over. We got another full album coming, and I think I will likely make it all the way through both. I do have to be done a little bit before 6 o'clock, which gives me about an hour and a half left. So we may have to cut a song or two. It's possible. C minor is not the saddest of keys, according to Nigel Tufnell. That is true. Totally digging the Spinal Tap reference there. You and I are now best friends. All right, we're picking the pace back up here a bit for these last 2 songs of this album. Oh, and Do It Pruitt pointed out that LiveSpace just went to open beta. Very cool indeed. Yeah, LiveSpace, for those who may not know, is a beta test program for a new live streaming platform, and apparently just went into open beta. Do It Pruitt and I were basically the first 2 really active beta test streamers on there. He's a video game streamer, a music streamer, so it was like just the 2 of us, and it's like we never got any viewers. We would occasionally come in and watch each other, and that's about it. But it's a really cool platform. I totally dig it. Go to livespace.com, sign up for the open beta. It's very cool. Get yourself in there and check it out. I think it's going to be a really solid platform, and I've got a lot of high hopes for it. Okay, picking up the pace. That last song was called The Undertaker's Daughter. This is The Silence of the Graveyard. Thank you, Zarver. Appreciate that. And invite.live.com for the live space to sign up for it. Please go there and check it out. Troyerism coming in from Live Space says killing it, and Pink Fantasy also coming in from Live Space. Thank you very much for being here, gang. Hope you are enjoying the Live Space platform. You may have heard me talking earlier. I was along with Dewitt Pruitt, one of the very earliest. Dewitt Pruitt and I have probably been on there for 10 months. It was like in the earliest stages of it. We were out there getting after it, doing what we do. All right, guys, this is the last song of the album, but not the last song of the show. This is a very cool piece, and when I did my 65th album, I spent 2.25 years working on that album because it's been over a year for Pruitt. That means it's probably been over a year for me too. I'm probably just not calculating right. We got on I think it was a little bit before me. Anyway, this is when I did my 65th album, I spent all that extra time on it because I needed to change my production to get it to sound correct and have clarity for all the instruments. And when I go back and I listen to songs like this one, or like the song Cyclops off of my 29th album of the same title, it's like, yeah, these songs really could have used the updated production. And so now when I'm playing this, I have updated the production. And I really think this sounds a lot better than it did on the album. And what you want to listen for in this is the way this builds throughout. So it's got a fairly basic rhythmic device for the rhythm guitars. So that's really what the rhythmic guitars or rhythm guitars are doing throughout. But then behind it, I start adding these elements, and I add in string section, and then I add in some synths. And I'm not sure if I got the order quite right. And add in an organ, add in a brass section, add in some another string section on top of that with some higher strings, just like and by the end of the build, it's just like, we need to rush into battle together. I don't even care what we're battling against. It's time for battle. That's how this song feels to me. It's a good one. This one comes out on a run. This song is called Broken Bones Sit Upon Shattered Thrones. right. And that was An Innocent Assassin, my 21st album. Let's do this switch over here. Where's my recording program hiding now? There we go. Next album we're going to play is my 56th, titled It Matters Not. Now, apologies. I was shut off there. Okay. Okay, let me fix this right now. Okay, no, okay, I need to fix. I got to make a note here. All right, now I'm back. I got to make a note. Fix marker 1 on It Matters Not. Okay. Boom. Apologies. So what I was saying, this is a The Mad Poet window sticker, and I will mail this. I will cover the postage to the first person who can tell me where the title It Matters Not came from. I did get that from a pop culture reference. I've done this contest, I think 4 times in the past, and no one has gotten it. But there is an answer for it. And so, no matter what platform you're coming in from, I will monitor, except for Afrika TV, I cannot see your chats on Afrika.tv. The first person who chats in on any platform with the correct answer, I will mail you The Mad Poet window sticker. Yeah, okay, so let me pull my sheet music up now and we will play this album. And we'll see how that works out. And I think you're going to lose my vocal again in just a moment here. And then I will rectify it, and I know what to do to fix it later. All right. Where is It Matters? I haven't played this album for a All right, now my voice should be back. I know what to do to fix that. So again, think about that through the course of the show. Mad Poet window sticker mailed to you on my dime. If you can tell me where this album title came from. And the first song is the title track. It's in B minor. It Matters Not. Otis Rott, thanks for coming in on Kick.com. Welcome to the Mad Poet Show. Glad you are enjoying it. That song was It Matters Not from the album It Matters Not. And if you can, the first person who can answer the question, where did the song, or where did the album title It Matters Not come from, I will mail you one free The Mad Poet window sticker for your automobile or other clear item. Actually, you can put it on anything you want. It's your sticker at that point. You don't put it on your chest or your wall. It'll be backward on your wall because of the way this window stickers are made, but you can still do it that way. If that's the answer to the question, it did not come from the Mad Poet Society. It is from a pop culture reference of some kind, some sort of a television show or movie or something like that. Is it from EverQuest 2? It is not from EverQuest 2. When that came out, EverQuest 2, so I'm not much of a video game player. I've got a video game that I play called City of Heroes, and I don't play that very much. I like once a week, right, for like a half hour or something. But I was roommates with this guy who was just a total gamer. He had all his gamer friends, and they were talking EverQuest 2 all the time. And we were so excited about this thing coming out. And finally, it got there. So I got an account for it, and I played it a little bit, but I think I got to like level 3 or something. And I know this ended up changing, but it just irked me so bad that I just completely quit the game. I was in the water. I started getting chased by a shark. And I'm like, I know what I'll do. I'll get out of the water. And it didn't work. This shark chased me up out of the water into a building and ate me. I'm like, oh, yep, I'm done. If getting out of the water is not a viable escape mechanism for a shark attack, not working with you on that. Zarver, that is the most common answer. That's from Harry Potter, and I am a huge Harry Potter fan, but that is not where I got this particular, that is not the spot that I got. You're closer on that, but that is not it. And I do have 3 of these window stickers, so I will continue to do contests. It's like I need to start doing giveaways more often. I like doing this kind of stuff. So keep working it. Keep working it. You guys are... Hopefully one of you will get there. I know there is a former viewer that actually knows the answer. He never answered it on stream. So no one ever actually gave the answer. He gave the answer afterwards. He's like, is it from this? And I'm like, yes, yes it is. All right. Let's keep on going here. This next one is called Strange Creatures. Do or do not. There is no try. That is another very good quote. I agree. And I've got to try to make another note here on this album. I don't recall it doing this last time, but I may just be misremembering. But my sheet music is stopping just short of actually flipping the page over to the next song. Which is not a huge deal. It's a pretty easy thing to just do manually. All right. So if anyone's coming in a little late, not familiar with what we do, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. We are playing my 56th album right now. It is titled It Matters Not. And we are running a contest for a window sticker. Mad Poet window sticker. And first person who tells me where the title of this album came from, It Matters Not, I will send you that. I cover shipping, completely free, just because I'm such a nice guy with such a fancy haircut. Now I'm looking at this, and this happens to me probably once a week, once every other week. I get to a song and I'm like, I have no idea what this song sounds like. No clue at all. I got my sheet music, got my tempo, got my key. And the way I handle this is I just get this song going and see what happens. This is called Even in Silence. Hey, that one flipped over for me properly. Excellent. This next piece here is in B flat minor. What was an interesting key on the guitar. I play a standard tune guitar. In standard tuning in the key of B flat minor, none of your open strings are in key. So you got to be very cautious about using. You've got the safety net of the open strings to fall back to, as we do in some other keys. Three of the minor keys have all 6 of the open strings, and then there's a variety of how many open strings are available all the way down to B flat minor where you have none of them. This is called Second Destination. Let's see what the sheet music does. Oh, good on this one. Cool. I feel like this is a song that's given me trouble in the past. This is one where I go into a triplet feel, and I kind of go. A lot of these songs, I slow the tempo down, I get in some triplets, and I kind of go back and forth on triplet and straight time. It gives a very dynamic feel to the rhythmic devices used in the song. I might be mixing this up with a song off of Four-Sided Triangle, though. I've got a lot of songs. Easy to get them mixed up. Let's see what this thing does. This piece, this is where we should have a party. This is called The Crypt. this album I think only has 8 songs on it. That's because the last one is fairly long. Let me take a look here, make sure I'm actually speaking correctly. 9 songs, okay. We got 9 songs on this one. All right. I am getting myself in position now. This song is dedicated to Kelsey. She is my daughter's best friend since they were like babies. Long time they've known each other, and she's a pretty awesome gal. This piece is called Strange Disclosures. AZ says, gotta head out. Thanks for the absolute bangers back to back. Great music to grind my game to. Have a great day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever you got there. Thank you very much for coming in. It's great chatting with you. And Dude Chillin' says, cool. Thank you for coming in on kick.com, Dude Chillin'. I'm glad you are enjoying the music. For those who may be coming in a little late, don't know what we're doing, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Right now we are playing my 56th album, It Matters Not is the title of that album. And we haven't had an answer yet. The first person from any platform gives an answer to the question, where did I come up with it? Where did I get the title, It Matters Not? We've had a couple answers. Someone guessed it was from the Mad Poet Society. No, it is not an internal thing. It is not from EverQuest 2. It is not from Harry Potter. Window sticker on me. Feel free to put your answers up. If you are on a Freaka TV, I will not be able to see your chats. That is the only one that doesn't count. It's unfortunate. I've never been able to get the chat hooked up on that one correctly. But wherever you're tuning in from, thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it greatly. So we got a bunch of people watching on Kick, on Nono, on Live Space. We got some people on Twitch, YouTube, Nemo. I like all my platforms. They're all awesome. We're going to slow her down here a little bit. This piece is called Light on the Horizon. We got 2 songs left in the show. This is going to work out, I think, just about right. I got a couple of students this evening, starting at 6, so I got just over a half hour. One of these songs, I think, is like 13 or 14 minutes long. But it's not this. We've got 2 left. But ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. This piece is called Guardian of the Lost. Slothboy5424. I see there are 5,423 other Sloth Boys on Kick.com. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Mad Poet Society. We're glad to have you. I hope you are enjoying the show, everyone out there. We've got one song left here today, and then I got to get going and do what I do, which is making the world a better place, one guitar player at a time. Actually, one of my students tonight is not a guitar player. She is a composition student. She writes choral music, and she does it quite well. She writes some very cool stuff. This last piece, kind of a longer song. And when I started composing this, my idea was I want this to be really slow. Just I want like how slow can I go on this? And so I decided to go with classical guitar and just came up with this really slow thing in A minor. They just kind of built and built. And by the end of it, of course, it's raging. And it kind of moves all around the place. I don't remember if there are any key changes in this. But I had to be kind of cautious when I was recording it because your train tracks go through town. And so the trains come through and you can hear them in the house. And so it's like, we kind of forget that the trains go by because we're just so used to them. So when I'm recording with microphones, like when I record like this is just directly into my interface. So that doesn't get affected by outside noise, but when I use microphones like I do on a classical guitar, I've got to be very cautious about making sure that doesn't get in there. You guys can see a little sheet music here for a moment. This one's called Built on Ruins. Do it Pruitt on LiveSpace says enjoys the slow ones, liking this. Thank you very much, Pruitt. And Dude Chillin', looks like you're enjoying this. That is all I've got for the day. This gives me, timing is just right on this. I've got students starting in about 12 minutes. So I'm going to get you guys out of here. Thank you very much for coming in. Again, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for smelling. Hope you enjoyed the show. Should be back tomorrow doing more. Time will tell. Until then, I will see you on the other side.